Wouldn't it be great if there was a training manual for becoming a software developer? At Starbucks, you can learn how to make a latte and cappuccino drinks in just an hour or two. However, with software development, you have to spend hundreds of hours learning on your own before landing a job. Since there is no official training manual, you have to figure everything out yourself. Learning to code is not about memorization. You can't just cram and learn in a few weeks. There are specific approaches you can take that will lead you nowhere. In this video, we will identify 4 warning signs that you are learning to code wrong, and give you advice on how to overcome these issues. While there is an abundance of free information available on how to learn to code and write software applications, many people still feel like they are missing something. However, the problem often lies with how you learn. Being a self-taught programmer means creating your own curriculum, which is where many people struggle. We aren't taught how to do this in school, so we end up choosing random things to do, which leads us nowhere. Practicing and studying are crucial, but creating a game plan to develop a strong skill set is just as important. This video will teach you how to create your own curriculum and develop the skills you need to land a job as a software developer. One of the earliest signs that you might be learning to code incorrectly is if you don't have a straightforward learning process. Successful coders have one thing in common: their learning journey is not exciting at all. They simply put in 1, 2, or maybe 3 hours of work each day and then call it quits. They repeat this process day after day until they have amassed a considerable amount of knowledge in projects. It's not complicated, it's straightforward. These successful individuals have simplified the learning process, making it easy to follow. You can do the same by establishing a set schedule for studying and practicing and planning and reviewing your goals for each day. By doing this, you will develop consistency and avoid choosing the easiest task on your to-do list. The key to learning to code effectively is to understand that repetition is critical. It's similar to learning how to make a cappuccino at Starbucks. You receive some instruction and then repeatedly practice the process until you have it down pat. You wouldn't spend 3 hours watching a video about making a cappuccino. Instead, you would focus on practicing the steps repeatedly until you master the process. In coding, you need to learn the basics of the programming language and then apply that knowledge to building small projects. Unfortunately, many individuals try to learn to code by watching others code or reading books, but this is not an effective approach. In the past, if you didn't understand what we were saying, we simply meant that many people consume a lot of content on creating software applications or read books that cover syntax, data types, methods, and functions. However, they fail to apply this knowledge in any practical way. The warning sign to be aware of is that you may become obsessed with theory over application. While it's important to watch others code and read books, there is a limit to their effectiveness. What companies look for in job candidates is someone who has built a variety of projects, big and small, and has experience applying their knowledge. They want to know that you've gotten your hands dirty and gone through the process of building complex applications. This is what builds trust with potential employers. The secret to becoming job ready as a self-taught programmer is mastering problem solving and thinking like a programmer. This can only come from practical experience, not from books. The point of building projects is to practice what you're learning. There's no need to obsess over finding the perfect project. A quick Google search can provide endless project ideas. If you haven't started building your own applications yet, be prepared for a challenging journey. Writing code and building software applications is difficult, and most people don't want to do it. You may feel lost, disoriented, or like you need to keep returning to tutorials. However, embracing the chaos of building projects is key to success. You may not be very good at first, but with practice, you'll become more comfortable with applying theory and building applications. Let's talk about another early sign for new developers. One thing that surprises many people starting their first programming job is how much time they spend fixing their own mistakes. It's not very scientific, but I believe that about 50% of a new developer's time is spent tracking down bugs, errors, or mistakes in their own code. No matter how carefully you write your code, you will make mistakes, and that's normal. In fact, mistakes are an essential part of the learning process. The next early sign to watch out for is being afraid to make mistakes. You can easily check if this is you by going back to a project you created and seeing if you feel terrified or fascinated at the idea of changing or refactoring it. Making mistakes repeatedly while learning is the best way to improve your understanding. Mistakes force you to stop, slow down, and analyze your code line by line. You'll also learn how to use debugging tools, which allow you to look into the application as it's running to see what's happening. If you're afraid of making mistakes, try shifting your mindset. Realize that every mistake is an opportunity to learn and embrace the messy process of learning to code. Another practical thing you can do is learn source control, like Git. With proper use of Git, you should never be afraid of breaking your code or making a mistake. Finally, let's talk about imposter syndrome. Feeling like a fake developer is common, no matter how long you've been studying. Don't let imposter syndrome stop you from pursuing your goals. Remember that everyone makes mistakes and that making mistakes is how you learn. We hate to break it to you, but you won't feel ready to apply for jobs right away. This is important to understand because using this as an excuse will only delay your progress. We've seen people with the skills and portfolio necessary to apply for jobs, but they still delay because they don't feel ready, which is self-sabotage. Even those with mediocre skills can get a job offer if they impress the company during an interview. Companies need developers and are willing to hire those with less experience. It's crucial to commit to a specific date to start applying for jobs. Learning to code is not just for fun, but to make money and secure a job. Without a set timeline, there's no urgency to finish the necessary work. We recommend setting a drop-dead date to start applying, meaning the only way you won't apply is if you're literally unable to. It doesn't matter if you don't have a portfolio or feel like you're not good enough. Having a drop-dead date might make you nervous, but that's the point. It's like jumping into a cold pool. You have to push yourself to do it, just like conquering imposter syndrome. Get out there and start applying for jobs. Those are the signs that indicate you're learning how to code in the wrong way. If you're seeking more helpful tips and advice on becoming a software developer with no prior experience, make sure to watch our video, Honest Advice about becoming a self-taught programmer. It provides more insights on how to succeed. Thank you for watching, and we'll catch you next time.